Alright guys, told you I was going to give you some more content, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start covering a bunch of different things, right? And I put out like a little video the other day about packs and how to treat them and how to set that pack standard for every single run so that you can essentially look at all your data and, am I recording? Yeah, I am. And, determine what your next move is going to be, So we covered that kind of roughly, I mean, there's nothing to it. Treat the packs the same every time. If you're going to always heat your packs. Always charge them to the same amount. Always heat them for the same amount of time. Get yourself a little checker and check and make sure that they're the same temperature every time, because that data is going to vary based on how that pack is prepared. So with all that being said, we already went over a good portion of that. So let's see here. Let me see if I can adjust this actually. Come up higher. And let's see, can we look down? Okay, got a little bit of a glare here. Well, not glare, I don't know what the hell it is. Looks like it's catching the, yeah, it's like a glare of some sort, or whatever. But, so I wanted to show you, this is my VTE 8. I cleaned it up a good bit, oh shit. It was real dirty last time, so I just took it off the shelf. I cleaned it all up. I went over the car, and this car I had, like I was telling you guys in the last video, I put it up on the shelf there for a while, and it was because it was acting funny, and I just didn't take the time to go over it and see what the deal was with it. So I went through the car, and it was just natural speed abuse, when you start racing these things hardcore. And this was a brand new build, and it drove like a beast off the line. It was great car, awesome car, VT8, super freaking awesome car. So yeah, so it started acting funny on me, but it was just natural, wear and tear of hardcore speeds on it, man. Things stretch out, they wear in, you have to readjust them, all this, that, and the third. So, needless to say, let me just go over this car real quick, because this car is going to be definitely putting in a lot of work again this season. This is a Saga chassis. As you can see, it's been working really hard. He makes a full speed run chassis for the VTE 8. I love it, dude. It's got carbon shafts in it from Raz. I don't know if he's still selling them. I think he is. I'm pretty sure he is. A lot of people are still getting these cars. It's my normal setup. I like a lot of metal on my cars, especially like a 1/8 like this, something that's real light and squirrely to begin with. The extra weight doesn't hurt, believe me. So I set this car up the way I set all my cars up. I like to do it and very rarely change anything on it, as far as a little bit of adjustments here and there. But with the metal, as long as you don't crash, you're gonna set it and forget it. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. So I like that, because I like to focus on my electronics, my gearing, my pack preparation, all that. So I want to, set the car and forget it, really. Realistically, I just want it to be the way it is, and that's that. So, yeah, so this is what we got here. I'm running SMC 10,000s, the V4s. We got some V5s coming again this season. Every year, Danny's a wizard. He just keeps one-upping everything all the time, dude. It's friggin' gnarly. So, super excited about that. This is a TP 4080 1812. I love this motor as a single motor car. I mean, this motor is so user friendly. It's a powerhouse, by far a nasty powerhouse. And for a single motor car, it's the KV range that I like to be in. The 4090 version is also a fucking badass motor too. So, you know, this is like the KV range I like to be in, you know. But I'm running an XLX2 on here. This car's hit 198 3 times in a row. I got it on video, I believe. I just posted somewhere on my Facebook. But it's definitely, you know, running on Kimber Road is not the easiest road. There's a lot of, you know, hazards per se. And there's a lot of things pushing these cars back that are running on that road as far as the surface and all that stuff. So I fully believe that this car can see 200 mile an hour. Sean has pushed his, not built complete opposite direction, has pushed his to 201. And I believe Joe, I don't really remember how he set his car up or how he did his thing with it, but he also did it too. We talked about that before. So this car has been proven on 2 different occasions already that it can exceed 200 mile an hour as a single motor car. So that's awesome, you know. So I want to jump in there and knock that little goal out myself, you know. And I have full expectations that this can do it, no problem. So we're gonna get it back out there and cut it loose and let it do its thing. And it'll probably hit it first day, I'd imagine. But I wanted to go over like how to get your cars running straight. You know what I mean? Like, this is the biggest thing, you know. A lot of these guys, they go from limitless, which is like a limitless, you could pop it out the box and it's going to go pretty freaking straight, you know what I mean? So there's a big difference when you go to a bow from a limitless. Like, this is a slider. It's basically 80% there. It's built, put together, not set in any way, shape, or form to drop down on the ground and go. It is not. Do not do that, because it is not built to do that out the box at all. This is like a bones car, very raw. Like I said, you know, set up more for drag racing than speed running, I would say, out the box. You know, definitely more geared towards that than the actual speed run aspect of it. But I just wanted to give you guys my setup, what works for me, and, you know, and just how I do it, you know what I'm saying? So I guess I can't really, you know, the 1.7 and the 1.8, yes, it's the same car. It's still a little, it's just a little bit shorter. So normally, I'm just going to talk about how I'm going to run this one. So this car, I run toe facing in 1 degrees. That's it. And also toe in the front 1 degrees. That's it. So you guys basically, you know, out the box, you got these little pills in here. You got to set them. They usually come in 0s and 3s. I buy sets of 1s because I just like to run 1 degrees. So when you're running these cars, the back, you know, is pulling in already, but the front pull out. Don't ask me how, I don't get it, but it's the way that this car runs. It definitely doesn't pull in. I assure you of that. And in theoretical reason, you would think it would. If it's just moving forward, it's going to toe in. But I don't know. Every time I've, you know, set the plastic rigs and checked them later, the fucking wide open. You know, it's like, dude, what the hell happened there? Not taking no hits or anything. So I always tow my shit in 1 degree in the front, 1 degree in the back. And the best way that I can tell you, you know, you can get like a setup station and all that, and or you're like, oh, I'm zeroed out. Well, if everything ain't perfectly symmetrical and weighed exactly the same, then that's all irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like, so for guys with the setup stations, the best thing I can tell you, yo, get this car running straight. Like, get underneath of it this way, right? You want to get yourself like a little screwdriver. Raz has shown this before. You go directly in the middle of the car, lift it up, make sure both wheels, front wheels, are hitting at the same exact time. So that's like a big thing. People neglect that all the time, and well, why is my car running straight? It's acting twitchy, da 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 da. So you have to have it fully loaded too. So however you're gonna run this car, you need to have it set that way. You know what I mean? Like how it's gonna hit the ground running. So then, you know, obviously you do it in the back, and you look down underneath of this and you check everything. You make sure all the wheels are all touching the same. So then you can adjust all that. You know what I mean? So once you get that set up, you're good. You know what I mean? Now, I like to just look straight down and just visually see it, you know, and make sure that I can see that toe, you know. And then after all that's said and done, right, you know, you got your caster and all the camber and all that kind of crap. I like to run that at 0. So when everything's, you know, towed in, like how I like it, 1 degree front and back, then I'll make sure it's zeroed out. I don't know what the hell that is. Camber, caster, whatever the fuck I want to do. I don't know. You know what the hell I'm talking about. So that's when I'll lift it up and I'll check and I'll make sure that this whole tire is flat sitting on it with all the weight on the car. So I got my front and my back sitting perfectly flat, you know. So when I lift that up, that wheel is touching the second I put it down fully, you know. That's going to give you the best grip, you know what I mean? So when you're running these cars, you know, what happens is it balloons, you know, so you want to have the best grip you could possibly get. And you'll be able to tell because your wheels will start to cup after a few runs. And then you know, you're like, oh shit, because what's happening is the middle of the tire is ballooning out, and when you have it zeroed out, it starts to cup in the tire, you know. So you'll notice it. If the car ain't set up right, you can tell just by the tire wear, oh shit, something's not right, you know what I mean? Or if it, you know, all your tire wear should be the same, you know. So that's one thing, or a couple things actually. But the next big thing that I try to check, now this car is straight up like bone stock, you know. It's the way it's set up right now. All I did was take it all apart, clean it, and check the toe, and you know, all that shit I said with the screwdriver and all that. So right now it's like full blown, right? So for you Futaba guys, I'm going to show you how I start with, let's see if I can get all this on here. So, oh yeah, I can too. All right, good. So this is like a bone stock car. I'm running a gyro on this. I'm running perfect pass, right? So I'm going to give you like a full tune of how I do it from the remote to the car. ESC tuning is already done on a laptop. It's pretty straightforward. We run this shit as raw, as basic as possible. There's nothing special there. There's no, you know, throttle curves, no brake curves, none of that. Everything's perfectly linear, right? So what we did already is I calibrated the ESC with the remote, right? So I'm running an old XLX2 and I'm running the Perfect Pass microchip on there, right? So you turn that all the way down, right? Then you calibrate your ESC, you know, front, back, neutral, all that good stuff, right? Turn it off, unplug it, turn my Perfect Pass all the way back up, full blast, right? Then plug my batteries in and I'm ready. We're at this point right now, right? So that's where I'm at right now. So I want to show you all this stuff, right? So the wheels, everything, and some little tricks with the remote and the car itself to get its full potential out of it. So when we calibrate these things, right, we tend to, you know, calibrate it and we're thinking, you know, we got a perfect calibration, bam, right? We do our run and then we realize, whoa, hold up, I'm not hitting 100%. What is going on here? And that is the calibration itself, right? So one way to fix that is to go to your endpoints, right? So if you go into your remote, now this is for Futaba users. I can't explain this in any other way for any other users, but you guys know your remotes, so you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. So right here, you go over to endpoints, right? Now you're gonna have your steering endpoints and you're gonna have your throttle endpoints. Right now, we just want to focus on our throttle endpoints, right? So what the remote is telling me, or with the car and the calibration and the remote, right? So I'm not getting 100% on my runs. What's going on? The problem is right here, throttle. So you go to throttle forward, hit that, right? Go up 3 clicks. So what that's doing is it's telling, it's pushing the endpoint past where your trigger stops at, so that the car receives 100%, 3% before that or whatever. So you don't really have to go any higher than that. Some of my cars I just go up to 5 just for shits and giggles, but it is what it is. So now we know we're going to see 100% out of our car, 100% throttle. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. That one problem solved. Now these are all precautions that you would just take ahead of time when setting up the car, So do that, you'll get your extra, 100% or whatever. Sometimes you calibrate and you still hit 100%. Most of the time you do. But if you don't, this is the solution to that. So there's that, right? Next, I always like to go to my endpoints on my steering. And how do I get there? Hold on. Endpoint, there we go. Steering. All right. So me personally, I drop this down to about 30% to start. Bye, hon. Love you too. So I drop this down to about 30% and I start from there. So I'll feel that out first, right? Because listen, see, look, that's too much, way too much. Dude, if you're doing 200 miles an hour and you have that much turn, holy crap, you are going to go flying into a curb. And everything is amplified by speed, right? So I'm going to drop this down to 20, right? And make sure you're doing this on the ground, and you're actually getting a feel to see, Now, this is still a lot for me, but it's enough to get me started. So I can then feel that under speed, and I can say, what I mean? I'll get it up to 100 mile an hour, and I'll slam it left and right, and I'll be like, okay, let me turn it down a little bit more. It's still moving a little fast in a direction, because you don't want to be over correcting and then, hit that and then launch the other way. You want it to be very, very smooth, So minimal turning is we're going straight here. This isn't freaking rocket science. You're shooting straight. You don't need all that turning. And if you have to turn that hard in the middle of a run, your setup's not right. It is not right. I'm telling you right now, something is not right within the toe, the caster, the camber, the balance. You just go back. You know what I mean? This thing should be shooting straight at that point. You know what I mean? So that's that. You adjust your endpoints, get all that squared away. Next thing I like to do is go to my speed, and that's my steering speed. So I turn this all the way down as well. I don't like anything moving too fast. That right there, that's kind of right where I like it, man. Like I said, we're going really fast here, and any little bit is amplified tremendously by the speed of it. So, bam, right there. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm also running a gyro on here. I did already check, you see. So we know that if I hit the car to the left, the front wheel should turn to the left, just like it is. So that's correcting. That gyro is facing the correct way, right? That gyro is amped way up. And I do that purposely when I'm setting up a car so that I can make sure that the direction of it is in the correct way. So that's at 100%, way too high, right? Back that bad boy down, solid 20, maybe 30. So the only reason this is here, I just knocked out my steering. So the only reason this is here is to protect when the wheels blow out. And that little bit of electronic control in there helps. When the tire goes, it doesn't just immediately rip off to the left or right. It at least gives you that opportunity to try to correct it. You know what I mean? You may be able to, you may not. but it does help. And something like that, you keep it low, you don't even recognize it's there at all, like literally at all, until something bad happens. And then only then can you see the difference between having it and not having it. And you'll see that if you've taken both routes. So having it is much better, especially with these cars getting in the 230 plus mile an hour range. Like, guys, come on, let's be real here. This is a 17-pound missile, you know? Like, dude, have control, please. Don't be out there in the traffic with it. You know, I'm guilty of it, you know. I've had some very close calls. I had one really close at the end of the season as well. So almost went through the back windshield of somebody's car parked, you know, way out of the distance, but something happened where it was uncontrollable and it actually cut into the curb and flipped through the air off the side of the road where a vehicle was parked. So it wasn't even on, like, in the direct shot of it. It actually crashed, and then the crash went towards the vehicle. So, you know, that is just completely out of your hands at that point. But what I'm trying to say is, yo, set this thing up before you get to that point, please. You know, this is super. The last thing we need is being on the news. Fucking RC car fucking kill somebody. You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's gonna hammer down countrywide. You know, shit, the cops will be freaking out about these things after that. So we definitely want to avoid that. But this is like the gist of it, you know? So right now, theoretically, this car is, for me, is ready to drop down on the ground, you know? Let's see what it's hitting for, right? So we're gonna do a quick overview. Toe in, caster, camber, whatever that is, camber I think. 0, you know. I'm not worried about rolling the wheels forward any bit, you know, a little bit for bump steer kind of thing. Everything's balanced correctly, as symmetrical as possible. And I set all that with my, what do you call them, grubs, or not the fucking grub. Damn, forgetting hell what things are even called. I don't even talk about it anymore. Whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. These 2 screws back here and these 2 screws up front. We know all the wheels are touching at the same time. Everything's balanced. Everything's as best as it could possibly be, right? So then we went to the remote. We calibrated. We stepped it forward on our throttle to make sure that we're getting 100% throttle at all times. We slowed down our steering and our endpoints so we don't oversteer in, you know, in an event of going straight. We just want it to be very smooth and controllable at those speeds. Like I said, faster you're going, the more that's amplified. So, you know, you can adjust that too with your whatever that's called. Can't remember names of nothing right now. I'm not editing this. This is why I don't make videos, because I don't like to edit the shit. So I'm giving you a raw. So whatever I screw up, you know, hopefully you know what I'm talking about. So that's that, right? All right, so let's see if we can get this squared away over here. I'll give ourselves a little bit of something here to see. All right. So now, don't get me wrong, this ground is not perfectly flat, and we're on carpet, yada yada. So let's see, can you see in this video? Oh, all right, so the way I can always tell my cars are running straight, right? I go like that, right? I hit it reverse. Car running bone straight in reverse. Damn. Don't look at the video and do this. You know what I'm saying? So let me straighten that back out. Crashed into my bench. So the car's running straight in reverse. That's always a very good sign that the car is going to run straight in high speed forward. Don't ask me how that works. I don't know, but it has proven me to be so true so many times when I'm like trying to get a car to go straight. It's acting funny, like what's going on here, right? I'm adjusting this, that, the third, and then I start playing with it in reverse. Let me just try this and see. I'm gonna run in reverse and see if I can keep it running straight. Because sometimes they'll wobble like that. They'll serpentine. Something's not right. I'm telling you. So hit that bad boy in reverse. Running straight. Move forward. Slightly adjust from there. Now, all the guys with the setup stations and whatnot. So I'm gonna like pretty much turn this off because that about sums it up. You know, like realistically, 1 degree in, 1 degree in, zero everything else out. Get everything, you know, lifted up with a screwdriver in the front and back. Make sure all the wheels are making contact at the exact same time. Your balance, all that set up, whenever the remote, the calibration, all that. So we're ready, you know, like this is all literally fine tuning from that point on. And when I mean fine tuning, I'm talking about a half a turn, a couple clicks on your remote, you know, left or right. You know, this is where you want to be. You know what I mean? So let's see. I'm going to turn all this off because we're about done talking about that right now. All right, let me see here. Yeah, fucking square away here. All right, good. Tracking. All right, cool. So just want to turn everything off. But yeah, so that's where we're at, man. And I kind of just wanted to just like make these little videos to kind of just explain the things that a lot of guys don't explain. And these are like seriously all the important things, you ask me. And people just don't talk about it. They're just like, oh yeah, this is the motor, this is the car, and watch me do a run. But they don't talk about all the what is this thing doing here? I don't know what I did with my I'm like, why ain't it tracking? There you go. All right, so that's the thing that like a lot of people don't talk about is how they got to that point. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of just wanted to show you from the remote's point of view, the setup of the car's point of view, and you know, just give you like the real information that is actually going to benefit you. You know, because a lot of this other stuff, it ain't really telling you nothing. You know, and what's going to happen if you go out there not knowing, you're going to get out there, you're going to wreck your shit, and you're going to be like, dude, this shit ain't for me, you know, and that's like kind of sad. So I'm just going to briefly talk about this. When I started, it was exciting, you know, there was a lot of people doing this, there was a lot of excitement in it. Then came the second year is when like the 200 mark started being crossed. So then it became competitive. You know, a lot of guys, it was the big race for 200. You know, a couple of us got it. And then, you know, you started seeing more and more. Not even that year. I think it was the following year. Yeah, you started seeing more 200s. Now we crossed that line of the 220s, you know. And end of this season, we crossed that line of 230s now. So it's happening. It's just... this is what's going to happen. Every year it's going to get faster and faster. But with those speeds comes great devastation. And I mean massive devastation. It's just, at these speeds, a wreck it's sequentially over. You know, that car's done. It's very metal, plastic, carbon, whatever, dude. It's done. It don't matter what it is. So just... hopefully you can gain something from these videos. If you guys got any questions, anything, you know, I talk about the limit. I mean, the Habao. That's my car. I don't even have a Limitless anymore. I tried building one of Raz's, you know, beautiful, pretty looking car. Was it for me? No. Nah, not at all. I'm a Habao guy. Always will be. I like the raw engineering of it. Very easy to work on. There's not a lot of bullshit. It's just straightforward, you know, comes down to setting it up. It's literally what I just showed you. That's it. That's it. Good to go. Run it. Just be smart about it. And if any of those steps aren't working out correctly, then just take your time, dude. It's not the end of the world. And the best thing I can say, this is another thing that people miss a lot. Get it up to speed, you know. Listen, a lot of them won't even slightly seem like they're going to be running on rails per se, you know? But it takes a little bit of speed. Get it up to 100 miles an hour. I know it sounds fast, you know, and it's hard to do in some locations for people, but you could do it in a mall parking lot. 100 mile an hour, you can get there pretty freaking quick, believe me. Especially with a lot of this electronics and motors and the packs that are already out there. You could probably grab the shittiest of shit and see 100 mile an hour, no problem. You know what I mean? It's come to that point where this stuff's just insanely good. So, yeah, man, just take your time, follow the steps. You know, this is how I run my cars. You know, for the Limitless, it's set up different. It is. You know, you might want a little bit of toe out in the front on the Limitless. I think it comes that way, but I think the rear toes in a good bit and the front toes out. But that's what creates the straightness for that car, and from, you know, out the box. You know, listen, everybody likes to change their shit to the way they run it, and there might be guys out here who run this car the exact opposite that I do. You know what I mean? And we're running good, running straight. But for me, this is what works, and I've always liked sharing that knowledge, because if somebody just showed me, dude, oh my God, all the money I would have saved, all the freaking headaches. But then again, nobody showed me nothing, and that's kind of how I got to where I am today. I was very dedicated and stubborn. I had to figure it out. And I'm like that with anything. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, if I'm interested in something, I'm going to figure it out 100%. You know, from the street bikes to the artwork to this to now, you know, whatever else. It's just the way I've always been. I always take things to the fullest. So, yeah. Other than that, you know, that's it. You know, look out for this car. It's going to be awesome, man. It's definitely going to do some numbers. I'm excited to get it back out there. It's probably going to be one of the... I don't want to put it through as the first one, because I ain't going to lie to you. I wreck every season. I annihilate. That's how that one got on Ridiculousness with Rob Dyrdek and all that. I annihilate my first cars of the season. And I don't want to do it with a car I like. You know what I mean? It just... something happens, but it's been every season. Just bombed out a whole car off the rip. Oh my God. So I got a designated shit box over there for this season. You ain't gonna give me a fourth time. It ain't happening. Yeah, man, we got a lot of cool stuff. Yo, Hobby Wing, man, listen, I love the XLX2. I'm a huge fan. The Cobra 5, I like it. It's cool for what it is. I like it with the 4090s. I love it for the 6 poles. But for me, that's all it's useful for, is a 6-pole motor. Oh, we can run 6 poles now on a Cobra 5 Ace. Dude, that's big. That is big. You know, the XLX2 could not handle that. That's understandable. You know, it's a 16-bit processor versus a 32-bit processor versus a 4-pole versus a 6-pole. I mean, this is a big difference in you know, synchronization and shooting off on a pole, a 6-pole versus a 4-pole. It's a big difference, you know. A lot of these motors create big power. So for me, a 4-pole XLX2, banger, man. Great ESC. No reason to even listen. It'll do numbers as a single motor, no problem. As dual motor, it's overkill. An XLX2 on a dual motor car is way more than enough. I'll tell you that right now. But goddamn. But I just had some Chipotle. Man, I got some fire for getting heartburn right now. No, give me a second. Cobra 5 Ace, gnarly with a 6-pole, dude. Nothing touching it. Nothing. Banger, dude. That's why I got them. I like 6 poles myself. I run my fastest numbers with 4 poles, but 6 poles are fun, man. They're a different animal for sure. So it's awesome to be able to run them now and to see the potential. And where we're seeing that great potential is 12S. 12S 6 poles are monsters, just out of this world, dude. annihilated Nick Case's record originally before anybody or anything, and this was during testing, and it sucked, man, because like I couldn't pose, couldn't do nothing. I run into the same shit with Hobbywing. It's just, that it sucks on that. I don't want to do that. I ain't doing no kind of none of them ever again. Do you want me to test something? Great. If I hit a record with it, we'll talk about it. But I'm fucking posting it. So if you don't want me to do that, then don't fucking ask me. Because I'm sick of, hiding this shit all the time. You do great numbers and you can't even. Not that I need the validation, but it just sucks. It just sucks, man. It just sucks. I pioneered 12 as single, 12 as dual, and nobody knows. And that's okay. I can live with that. It's fine. But is it annoying? Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. It fucking sucks. So, that's that rant for now. So, we're going to make some more videos like this. Hopefully as weather starts to warm up a little bit. I'm in preparation as far as getting my cars ready and all that stuff. I mean, still got February, but usually mid-March it starts to warm up and you can start seeing them good days. And those are some of the best days to run. Spring, midsummer, that ain't the time. The time is like right from winter to you start getting those warm days, get on it. They're the days. They're the record-setting days. And in the fall, before winter hits, you get some of the cold morning. Could be, 50 degrees or 40 degrees in the morning, and reaching a high of like 58 degrees in the midday. Those are the days. Best days to run. Tires hold up the best. You don't see that explosions of tires like normally from all the heat. It's just, things just run better. The electronics love it, So all this cool stuff, So those are the days. So be prepared for them days. Get your shit ready, because the second you get that nice day, man, you better get out there. Because that's going to be your numbers. It's going to be your numbers for the year. Like I said, the beginning and the end. So, that midsummer shit sucks. What's cool is I got like a massive amount of elevation coming up this season, so I'm pretty excited about that. It's just like I've run on sea level my whole life, so having that massive elevation now, being on top of a mountain like other drivers have, man, that's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be awesome. I'm chasing numbers at ground level. I can't wait to get up there, man, on top of them mountains. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be real nice. So, here's another cool thing I wanted to show you guys. I was veering off track with that. I got a little in my feelings. But I wanted to talk about the Hobbywing ESC, and I gave Castle their credit. I gave Ghost his a little credit there. Now it's time to give Hobbywing their credit, and it's fucking due. We seriously, I don't know, I'm probably gonna get bitched at for this one, but like I said, I don't even give a fuck anymore. So, they got software for these ESCs that is fucking monstrous, dude. And I'm talking about I haven't popped one. Why it's not out yet? I don't know. They gave me this cool 2400, 56, what is this? 5690. There's a fat chode of a motor right here, censored 2400. Definitely going on a drag car. That's gonna be a fucking whammer. So that's pretty cool. I'm impressed. I will tell you this. Hobbywing never really did anything for the speed world. They didn't really, weren't interested, which is understandable. It's a kind of a headache, So I am really surprised by the tech that they came out with. Don't get me wrong. Now, I run a cat pack on theirs. I run a cat pack on all my ESCs. It's just something I do. It's just part of me and how I set my things up. But I've veered away from it with the Cobras, and they do fine. They do fine without it. They don't need it. Is it beneficial? Absolutely. It's beneficial to any ESC, 100%. Does the Hobby Wing need it? I think so. I think so. Now, I haven't tested it without, the back EMF was an issue, but there's a curve down the brakes. It's not so abrupt. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the software that they have now, I don't know what the deal is. Why is it not out there? Because it's banging. This is a very, very strong contender in anything 12S. I haven't popped one yet. I've popped some Cobra Aces HVs. I popped some of them. I haven't popped any of these with the new software and the cat pack. Hasn't happened yet. I've crashed a bunch of them, fucking on my own behalf, but have I popped any on the new software? Nope, not one. Still got about 4 or 5 of them left under there. Yeah, 4 of them. And then I got about 4 more on cars over there that are perfectly fine. Went through wrecks, but they're okay. They made it. Bolted down pretty good. Those ESCs are the shit. I don't want to take nothing away from the other guys either, because like they all have their place 100%. They all definitely have their place, and Hobby Wing is definitely set their foot in the game. And I think that's awesome. And you know who else? What's the name of that company? I think they changed the name. I don't think it's Mad Max anymore, Max Mad Components or whatever the hell it was. They're stepping their shit up too, dude. There's real competition now. You don't have to go in any one direction. Speedrun was down to Castle up until last year. It was strictly Castle. That's it. And then they had to do away with their XLX2, and somebody had to pick up the load, and thank you for Aaron for that. You keep an 8S alive at least. It's a great thing. Then they came out with the HV. I'm sure that thing will see another update or two. It's, all these things, they see updates and they get better and better. They run into more bugs, they fix them. It's just part of it. So I'm sure that's going to get better. It looks like I've seen a price drop on them, which is awesome. So that's good, making it more affordable, it looks like. I think I don't know. I don't really know what the prices of things are. I'm usually part of them, you know what I mean? And I still pay for them, but it's a different price, obviously. We help and design and build the shit. But yeah, it just is what it is. So, I got nothing bad to say about any of them. They all got their place. They 100% do. Some outshine the other ones in different aspects, and vice versa. It is what it is. You got to pick the ESC now for the motor you want to run, or yeah, pretty much the motor you want to run. And yeah. So hopefully Hobby Wing, at least it's theirs. I don't understand the hold up here. Maybe they're waiting on me. I don't know. I haven't talked to them in a while. If you guys are watching this, sorry. I'm waiting on you. Yeah. So that's that. Candy's got some new TP motors coming out. They're 4 poles. The pole itself, the rotor itself is reversible. I'm sorry. Let me correct this. The 56 CMs, 5680s CMs, 5690 CMs. Now, I think, I don't know. She sent me the paperwork on it. I forget. I got to look at it. But new rotor, slightly different KVs. Still same 56 cam, but now it's a 4 pole instead of a 6 pole. What's cool about that? That rotor fits in the old ones. Snatch out your 6 pole, put in a 4 pole if you want. Pretty cool. I myself have got some rotors just to order some rotors, because I have motors that I already love his 6 poles. I'm gonna, flip flop them around and play with them. That's what we do. We try to figure out what works. So that's gonna be neat. That's for sure gonna be a pretty cool thing. But yeah, we're just going rambling on now. This has become more shop talk than anything. Yeah, that's all I got right now. So we'll post this one, and then I'll find some other shit to talk about. You guys got any questions about anything that you want to talk about? And we'll do that too. We got time to kill. It's winter time. I'm just trying to get you as best informed as possible, so that when the season starts, you can go out there and do your thing safely and happily and enjoy it, and hopefully you learn something from this, guys. All right, that's all I got. I'm gonna close this one down. What are we at? 45 minutes. Fucking talks a lot. All right, I'll let y'all.